Hi, AP Stats. Today we need to talk about summary statistics for quantitative variables. Okay, what are summary statistics? I listed them out right here. It's our mean, median, 5-number summary, finding our outliers, what's the range, what's the standard deviation. Another thing we have to do is we have to learn how to make a modified box plot based on if there are outliers or not. And then finally, we need to talk about the mean versus the median and the resistance with that, okay? So we're going to start right away calculating mean, median, the 5-number summary, outliers, range, and standard deviation. Now, the important thing in statistics is the AP College Board, they don't care as much as if you know how to use your calculator. You obviously have to, I'm going to say all the time, become one with your calculator. But more importantly, they want to make sure that you can interpret what that means in context. Tell the story behind the number the right way, okay? So we're going to get going. What I'm going to do here in 1 second is I'm going to put up a bunch of numbers, and you're going to notice they are numbers that are attached to a category: hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, so on and so forth. I'm going to look at a quantitative variable, the fat gram content in McDonald's burgers, okay? So what you're going to do, you don't need to write down the whole table when it pops up, but I do want you to write down the data, okay? That means 9, 10, whatever you see, okay? So let's go to that, and we're gonna start then. Once we have that written down, we're gonna find the mean of that data, the median, the 5-number summary, outliers, so on and so forth, okay? So here's the data that we're gonna look at. So why don't you go ahead and pause your video right now and write down those numbers, the fat gram content, a quantitative variable here that is in McDonald's burgers. Okay, now that you've written it down, I know a lot of you could find average and median by hand, okay? But that's not what we want to do. We don't want to take the time to do that. What we want to take the time to do is learn how to use our graphing calculator. So I want you to get your graphing calculator out right now. So I have mine out. Go ahead and turn it on. You should see your home screen, okay? And now what we want to do is we want to enter this data and calculate our summary statistics on the calculator, okay? Which makes our life super easy, okay? So let's get started right now, okay? Most things in statistics, we use this stat button right here. So when in doubt, go to that stat button. Now you see edit, calc, tests, okay? So we just press stat right there, and now we see edit, calc, and tests. We want to edit a list of data. So we're gonna hit enter here. Now, if you have data in your list 1, we need to delete that, okay? So follow along with me so we can learn, and even if you don't have data, you need to know how to delete a list of, clear out a list of data, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna arrow over and up to L1. So I want my cursor right now to be on top of L1. That's the biggest mistake when I teach it in class that people don't do. They don't have their cursor on L1. It's got, so arrow up to make sure it's on L1. And now we do not want to delete L1, but we want to clear out the list. So find the clear button on your calculator. Okay, so I've highlighted it right here. Hit clear and then enter. Now we have a clear list, and now we're able to enter our fat gram contents, okay, into L1. So we're gonna go ahead and start that process. So I'm gonna hit 9, and then I wanna hit enter, okay? And then 12, enter. And I'm gonna keep going down the list. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pause my video, okay? And I'm gonna enter it all in, and you do the same, and when we come back, we should both have the same list of data there. Okay, so we're back, and we should have our list of data all in L1. Now, I'd always tell you to double check just to make sure you didn't make any errors. It's worth it in the long run to take 1 more second to just double check that the list of data that you have in your calculator matches up with your problem set. Okay, now our goal is to calculate the summary statistics. How do I do that? How do I find the mean, the standard deviation, the 5-number summary, so on and so forth? I'm going to go back to stat. I'm now going to calculate my summary statistics. So I want to arrow over to calculate. Okay, I have one variable statistics. That means I'm looking at one variable, my quantitative variable of fat gram content in burgers, okay? So I'm gonna hit enter on one variable statistics. Now, for those of you who have the older calculators, don't panic. I'm gonna address that here in a second. Those of you with the new calculators, the list you're working with is L1. If you have something else in there, because you have your older sister's calculator or a friend's, and you need to put L1, everyone should know where to find this. You wanna hit the second button, and then you see the one button right here, right above it, right there is little L1. And that's where you get your L. So L2 is right above the 2 button, 3, so on and so forth, okay? The frequency list is just gonna stay blank. And then what we wanna do is we wanna arrow down and hit calculate. Okay, so there we go. We have our summary statistics. Now, let me quick address, I thought my calculator would do it for us. Let me quick address if you have an older calculator. You are gonna do everything the same, okay? Stat, arrow over to calc, hit one variable statistic, and now when you hit enter there, let me rewind. So those of you with the older calculator, it's hard to do it when I don't have it to show you. I'm so sorry, okay? So stat, calculate, and just really hit enter twice. If you hit enter twice, you should see the same screen that I see now. Because you hit enter twice, what your calculator does is it always does the L1 by default, okay? So just hit enter twice and you should see that. So stat, arrow over to calc, one variable stats, hit enter twice. Okay, if you have issues, it's okay, but that's what like office hours will be for, or joining together in class to take care of those issues. Okay, so now what we do is we have a big list of data here. And I want you to really note something, okay?